The first 2 days of the NFL Combine showed off potentially some of the NFL's next big superstars. Let's break down the biggest standouts from day one and day two. I'm Julian Lacosto, and this is the Gangrene Report. Let's dive in, everybody. On day one, we saw the interior defensive linemen, edge, and linebackers performing on the field. Ironically, these all seem to be the positions of need for the New York Jets going into 2025. So I'll start with what seems like to be the biggest position of need, and that's the interior defensive line. It's really no surprise that this is one of the biggest needs on our defense, considering the fact that there is a massive hole that is being left next to Quinnen Williams. We're seeing guys like Javon Kinlaw and even some other players on the line that are going to be free agents this summer. And we really need to get somebody that is going to plug up those holes and help Quinnen on the interior defensive line, because we were getting gashed in the run game this year. So the first guy that I was really impressed with this weekend, and honestly throughout the pre-draft process so far, has been Darius Alexander, defensive tackle out of Toledo. Alexander kind of built on a big performance from the Senior Bowl week, running an impressive 4.95 with a 1.72 second 10-yard split at 6'4", 305 pounds, kind of showing off his speed and explosiveness at that size, then kind of carrying that over to his positional drills. His strong hands were apparent in the bag drills on his strikes, and he also showed a flexible lower half and kind of positions himself to fly up these draft boards. You're looking at somebody who is a player that kind of demonstrated his elite run defending ability with a 91-1 grade run defense and showed his versatility all over the defensive line. He's been a hot name throughout this entire pre-draft process, and somebody that I can really see flying up boards and getting some mid to late first round considerations. Obviously, if this was a trade down scenario and the Jets wanted to go with him, this is somebody that I would want to target ideally in one of those kinds of situations. If he's fortunate enough to slide 42, I would be absolutely all over this if we did not address this at number 7. Number 2 guys at the similar position would be Alfred Collins, interior defensive lineman out of Texas. Collins has a well put together frame, measuring out at 6'5", 332 pounds. He also has matching physicality, which he demonstrated during his breakout senior season. Scouts wanted to really see how well he could move and if he could execute change of direction skills as a pass rusher. Collins kind of answered those questions and more, moving quickly through his drills and showing plenty of lower body mobility. He's really an NFL-ready run defender who is stout at the point of attack, and his wide frame makes it difficult for offenses to displace him out of these gaps. Collins is going to be utilized really as an early down defender, but can also play sparingly on late downs. But he's going to really play immediately as a rookie, which really makes Collins a early round 2 or even mid round 2 type of prospect. And guys, this is somebody that I can really see being a good piece to put next to Quinnen Williams. Obviously, I mentioned it earlier. This is a big need and a big hole for the New York Jets in the middle of our defense. We were getting gashed by running backs and even quarterbacks for that matter. The run game was really hard to stop for opposing offenses that were going against the New York Jets this year. So this could be somebody that I could really see us plugging in on day 2, if possible, at pick 42. And would be an immediate upgrade in the middle of our defense. Number 3, guys, and this is at the edge position. And I mentioned the edge because it's really funny that, a lot of people are kind of sleeping on edge. Nobody really wants to see us take another edge early in this draft or even in general, just because of the fact that we've invested so much at the position with McDonald in the previous draft. But, coming on with JJ coming off the Achilles, edge can really be a sneaky need. And with Hassan Reddick going out of the door in free agency as well, this is going to leave depth pieces as a major need for the Jets and the edge. So Landon Jackson is somebody out of Arkansas that I really can see flying up boards, and he really helped himself this weekend. He silenced a lot of critics with his impressive athletic performance. He kind of cemented himself as one of the best pass rushers in the class this weekend. At 6'6", 264 pounds, he jumped a 40.5-inch vertical and followed that up with a 8'9" broad jump before running a really smooth 4.68 40. Jackson is a power player on tape, so he kind of showed this type of lower body explosive power and flexibility, which has him kind of really going up draft boards right now. He's a solid round 2 player on the board, but Jackson's performance this weekend really kind of showed his versatility, not just being a power player in the run game and off the edge as a guy that can convert explosiveness to power in the run game. He's somebody that now showed off that he has that speed, that flexibility, and that ability to bend in pass sets. So I really think that Landon Jackson is somebody that we can really see potentially getting first round buzz. If not, this is somebody that I would love at 42. Again, if we don't address edge in the first round or even later, I definitely would think this would be a sweet spot to get him at 42 if he slips. But he did really help himself this weekend with his performance on day one. And then lastly, a major sneaky need for the New York Jets is the linebacker position. And Danny Stutzman is somebody that out of Oklahoma that I was very impressed by. He's somebody that I've been really looking at as a late round target for the New York Jets, potentially like a day 3 pick. But this is somebody that really helped themselves out a lot. Stutzman ran a 4.5 240, which was the biggest surprise out of the linebacker session. He didn't consistently show that type of range and that speed on tape, but ran better on Thursday than some of the counterparts who looked faster in game action. So in a down linebacker group, Stutzman's workout really helped his stock, pushing him to kind of be maybe a day 2 or day 3, like early day 3 pick now going forward. So with Jamie and Sherwood, unsure if he's going to come back. There's rumors that there's mutual interest with the New York Jets and potentially reuniting with him next season. But this is somebody that I would really target in the mid rounds, especially with his improved performance. And he's somebody that is a phenomenal run defender. Again, something that is a big theme for me this offseason for the New York Jets would be getting guys that are sure tacklers and guys that can really help us in the run game. I think Danny Stutzman would be a great player to target in a day 2 or even a day 3 pick for the New York Jets at a position that could potentially be a big time need if Jamie and Sherwood were to follow Robert Saleh or Ulbrich going to the 49ers or even the Falcons. This could be somebody that I could see targeting. On to day 2, guys. I'm looking at the corners and safeties and guys that and tight ends. These are positions, big time positions of need for the Jets. And so number 1, a guy that I really love in throughout this entire pre-draft process has been Trey Amos, cornerback out of Ole Miss. Previously played for Alabama. He's one of the biggest question marks really surrounding Amos following a great season with the Rebels was his recovery speed and man coverage. So those questions really got answered right away when Amos ran a 4.35. The 6'1", 195-pound Amos is a fringe first rounder that has had a great pre-draft process and even better showing at the Senior Bowl. So I could see this guy going up boards, potentially making it into the later parts of the first round. You're going to see guys like the Bills, Chiefs, teams that really need some corner depth. These can be a guy that can slot in. But if he's there at 42, I would run to the podium and grab this guy because he's somebody that can really see being a big need for the New York Jets. Seeing is that DJ Reed is going to be leaving in free agency, and we're not sure if we're going to really retain Brandon Echols either. So this could really be a big need for the Jets, seeing that we need a corner opposite of Sauce Gardner. And that leads me into my second prospect of the day, and that is Darian Porter. Darian Porter really helped himself out this weekend as well. Porter may have helped himself the most out of any corner, actually. He measured in at 6'3", 195 pounds, and then ran a 4.340. He also starred in the jumps, leaping at a 10'11" on the broad and a 36.5 in the vertical, which isn't necessarily that impressive at the corner position compared to a lot of the other guys. I know I say that and I'm like, 36.5 vertical. That's actually pretty impressive for most standards. But his size and speed and athleticism nonetheless has really showed out. He started his college career actually as a wide receiver before moving to corner in 2022 and continued to improve year by year. The only knock on him is that at 24 years old, Porter is kind of one of the older prospects, but he's really ideal for a team that uses heavy zone coverage. And I'm saying that because he graded out as a 90 coverage grade and only allowed 5 receptions for 70 yards last season. And considering that Steve Wilks, our new defensive coordinator, runs a ton of cover 3 and cover 4 zone sets, guys like Porter and even Amos, for that matter, who ran a similar concept at Ole Miss, could be a great corner addition to add to this defense opposite Sauce Gardner. He was considered a round 3 guy entering the combine, but he might actually get some round 2 buzz consideration. So if Amos is off the board, I could really see Darian Porter being an option for the New York Jets. And I've mentioned him in the past, so this is somebody that I'm really, really high on. But going into the next secondary player, that is Billy Bowman Jr., safety out of Oklahoma. This is actually one of my probably one of my better sleeper picks for the New York Jets at the safety position. Obviously, safety is a big need. We probably need 2 starting safeties this summer. So a few safeties find the football as frequently and effectively as Bowman, who kind of showed the body control and overall movement skills to play center field in the NFL level. He checked a lot of physical boxes this weekend so far, measuring in at 5'10", 192 pounds, while running a 4.42 40. Bowman is an absolute ball hawk safety that has had a down year this year. And I say down year, but two interceptions for him is a down year when he had 6 the year prior. So this is a guy that is really a ball hawk. He can take the ball away, create turnovers, which is a problem for the New York Jets, considering we haven't had guys that could really create turnovers in the secondary. So this is somebody that I really, really like. And he's also shown to be an improved tackler over the years in college. So I really, really like this guy as a late round or mid-round swing for the New York Jets if he's there. And then lastly, I think one of the other biggest positions of need and kind of rounding out day 2 was the tight end position. Obviously, Tyler Conklin, we don't know if he's coming back for the New York Jets. So we need really good tight ends, especially because Rutgert hasn't really developed into the tight end that we all thought he was going to be. Terrence Ferguson, number 1 on my list off this weekend, tight end out of Oregon. Ferguson highlighted his explosiveness and athleticism, kind of registering the best 40 time of the position with a 4.63 at 6'5", 247 pounds, also jumping a 39-inch vertical and a 10.2 broad jump. Ferguson kind of routinely showed this weekend that he can kind of catch the ball in multiple drills out of the air in multiple different ways. This was a guy that was potentially a 4th round grade for tons of scouts, but he may have seen himself jump into the 3rd round with his speed and his ability to catch the ball in the pass game. And then the last guy on my list that I really wanted to highlight was Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU. Taylor was clearly the smoothest mover on the field during the on-field drills. He opted not to run the 40, which is a little disappointing, but I have a feeling that he'll probably end up running that at his pro day where it's a little bit more controlled and it's in the player's favor. But he showed out in every drill for the rest of the outing. He ran really crisp, good routes, displayed his body control during the gauntlet drills, and really displayed kind of the best hands in the group from what I saw. He caught every pass with really soft hands and with confidence. And obviously, he has the lineage here. He's the son of a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor, who was a one-time Jet, one-time wonder. He really did show off his elite genetics, and that was really on display in Indy. And he's somebody that I can really see flying up boards now. Up until this point, I've seen him as round 3 through 5 kind of guy, mainly in the rounds 3 but I can really start seeing him jump up boards, maybe even getting himself into round 2, round 3 considerations. But nonetheless, these are some guys that I really took away and were really impressed by. So that's all there, folks. The top performers from day 1 and day 2 of the NFL Combine. These athletes have shown their incredible skills and athleticism, and we can't wait to see where they land in the upcoming NFL Draft. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more NFL updates and more updates on your New York Jets. Until next time, guys, stay tuned and stay hyped.